I'm going to try to make a video before I go to job number 2. I've been thinking about this, and this is a very important issue. It's something that I'm not hearing talked about by anyone. No think tanks, no military experts, no anthropologists, no talk show hosts. No one is talking about this. And no matter how conceited it may sound, I think I'm right. We all consider radical Islam to be a threat. But how much of a threat is it? What is the goal of radical Islam? And what path will they follow to that goal? We all know that it's a caliphate. That's why ISIS, ISIL, whatever you want to call them, is doing what they're doing. And that was the goal of Osama bin Laden. It was the goal of Saddam Hussein. It's the goal of the Ayatollah Khomeini. It was the goal of the Ayatollah Khomeini. It's the goal of the present Ayatollah. Every Muslim that seeks power over the entire religion, be it militarily or religiously, wants to create the caliphate. They want to unite all of Islam. Now, of course, uniting all of Islam is next to impossible. And this is also a call to all of you Muslims that are not radicals. You're going to have to think about this and decide where you stand. I believe that Osama bin Laden attacked the U.S. in the hope that the U.S. would go to Afghanistan, because it's a lot less expensive to fight us on their soil than it is our soil. And also, he is able to garner support. The radicals are able to garner support because there's always going to be collateral damage. There's always going to be misunderstandings between cultures. And this is going to cause a fallout, which is going to create more radicals. Of course, there are plenty of radicals in Afghanistan. But it will cause problems in the surrounding areas. Thusly, the tribal areas of Pakistan. And of course, we moved against Iraq, and that created a complete mishmash in Iraq. And then the Arab Spring happened, and this led to a spillover when we had to get involved in Libya. We helped, which was going to be Gaddafi holding on to power, if you remember correctly, until we used air power to help the rebels. And once the rebels got some air power assistance from NATO, they were able to overthrow Gaddafi, and look what the hell happened. In case you don't remember, Benghazi. And I don't have to tell you about Syria, the Syrian civil war, and ISIS, and how ISIS has spread throughout Iraq. And I'm sorry, I'm going to disagree with the Republican leadership who said that what could have happened if Osama, I'm going to call Obama Osama, sorry, Freudian slip. If Obama had kept troops there, we could have continued to train and help build up the Iraqi army. Well, I'm sorry. You're forgetting the most basic teaching of Napoleon. And Napoleon said, you have to turn around, convince the soldier to fight for more than just money for them to be effective. So I'm not buying that their argument is working. I do not believe that the Iraqi military would have ever been effective against ISIS. The Kurds have something to fight for. The Kurds are very effective, but they also will be overwhelmed. That's just a sad fact. So exactly how can they create this caliphate? How can they garner up? How can you be sure you have a caliphate? They want world domination. You have to remember, convert everyone to Islam or kill them. That's world domination. And a theocracy, a worldwide religion. Obviously, 1.2 billion Muslims will be a serious threat. There's no way you can say anything else. Especially since so many Muslims are in the United States, in Europe. So exactly how are they going to radicalize these people? Many of them will be easily radicalized. But how are they going to radicalize the rest? How are they going to unite 1.2 billion Muslims against the rest of the world, especially the West? Well, think about how they operate. Think about how Hamas, Hezbollah, the PLO, they are more than happy to use their own people as shields for PR. And we always thought that this PR was just Western PR. It's just aimed at the bleeding hearts of the liberals. Oh, the poor children, the poor innocent Palestinians. We have to help them. Mean old Israel. No. They don't care about us. They don't care about you stupid liberals. They consider you more worthless and weak than I do. They would kill you quicker than I would. No. The goal is to unite the Arab world. That's the goal. To unite the Muslims. They don't care about the West. They don't care about you bleeding hearts. If you want to convert to Islam and turn around, strap on a bomb, more power to you. They'll turn around and help you then. But they don't care about your pity. They want to unite the Islamic world. And they're willing to sacrifice not just their enemies. They're willing to sacrifice their own to accomplish that. Think about it. They're committing mass genocide. If you don't convert or die, beheading, the most gruesome children, the most gruesome possible way to kill individuals. And they're videotaping it. And they're publicizing it. Why would you do that? Knowing the power of the World Wide Web, knowing the power of the media in the West. Why would you do this? To create a backlash against Muslims in the West. If people start rising up and striking against Muslims in the West, that will end up causing Muslims in the Middle East, in Indonesia, to stand more united. They're willing to sacrifice their own people. And if you look at the radical Muslims in Great Britain, in Sweden, in Germany, in France, they're just begging to get the shit kicked out of them by the locals. It's just that the locals in Europe are not armed. Otherwise, I would say there would be a lot more bloodshed, because not only would the locals be armed, the Muslims would also be armed. Now, the U.S., we have a much more stronger police state. So it's a little bit more difficult for such radical elements to actually push it. Although they are trying. They are trying to strike fear. You know, they put up the ISIS flag in various locations. The kid goes in front of the White House with the iPhone. Say, we're here. Yeah. They want to cast doubt on everyone that goes to a mosque. They want you to hate and fear them. They want you to strike at somebody. They don't want you to even care. Once there another 9/11 happens, people will be going after Muslims, period. Especially if it's just not just one event. It's just like 2 or 3 events, boom, 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 boom. And they're big enough to actually royally tick off people. Vigilante groups, headhunting. in the United States. Let's spill over to Europe, where it's more like rioting in the streets. They are willing to sacrifice their own people. They are doing the bloodshed in the Middle East to piss off Christians in the West, so that you will then want to attack them. You will want to attack them over there. You will want to send your troops over there, so that once again, you will end up in the same urban guerrilla warfare situation that will create the same problems as before, to where you don't know who the enemy is. So therefore, we're forcing our soldiers to fight in a handicapped position because they don't know who the enemy is. You are not dealing with another military force. It is a clusterfuck. There's no other way to describe it. So yes, I believe they are willing to sacrifice their own people. They are intentionally trying to trying to make us lose our patience, lose our cool, and just go off on them. And they don't care about their own people dying, as long as it helps achieve their goal. Because if they have 1.2 billion or 1 billion, not just the potential of 120 to 360 million, but a billion Muslims, not just a few 100,000 supporters in Syria and Iraq. No, they want it all. Think about it. Play with that idea in your head. Do that math. I'm sorry if I didn't describe this as well as I've been playing with it in my mind. I'm in between job 1 and 2, and I have to go to work. I just wanted to share this idea and try to get my point across before I have to start. So, much love to all of you on the right and to all of you on the left. I hope the radical Muslims find you.